Roll
This
call.
conference will now be recorded.
This will be a roll call of the general membership. The general membership is about 96 entities, many of whom are not here. So if you'll bear with me, you'll find out all the entities in the Rio Grande Valley. First off, we have Cameron County, Commissioner Benavides. Hidalgo County, we're expecting Commissioner Ellie Torres. I don't see her. Willacy County, I'm expecting Judge Guerra, and I don't see him. If I miss you, please speak up if you're online. And then on the cities, we have Alamo, Commissioner J.R. Garza. Nope. Alton, Bayview, Brownsville, I'm expecting Commissioner Nerth Galinsky. Combs, Donna, Ed Couch, Edinburgh, I see Commissioner Councilmember Johnny Garcia.
Present.
Thank you, sir. Elsa Granjeño, Harlingen. Hey, thank you, ma'am. 72. Hidalgo, City of Hidalgo, Indian Lake, La Feria, La Jolla, La Villa, Laguna Vista, Los Fresnos, Los Indios, Lyford, I believe Mayor Salinas is online. Mercedes,
Present.
Yes, present.
thank you. McAllen,
Present.
thank you. Mission, here, thank you, Nori. Palm Valley, Palmhurst, Palm View, Penitas, Far, Port Isabel, Primera, Progreso, Progreso Lakes, Rancho Viejo, Raymondville. I see Commissioner online. Thank you, sir. Rio Hondo, San Benito, Commissioner Pete Galvan, I believe, is online.
Present.
Thank you, sir. San Juan,
Present.
thank you, sir. San Perlita, Santa Rosa, South Padre Island, Sullivan City, Weslaco. He'll be here. On to educational institutions, Donna ISD, Harlingen CISD, McAllen ISD, Monte Alto ISD, PSJA ISD, Rio Hondo ISD. Suarez, okay. Just catching up with some people who just came in. Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Guerra, Willacy County.
I'm sorry?
Guerra, Willacy County.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so PSJ, Rio Hondo ISD. Hi. Cecile, yeah. Anywhere you'd like, sir. Harlingen. No. TSTC. Where was I? PSJ ISD, I believe. Okay, Rio Hondo ISD, San Benito ISD, South Texas College, and Texas State Technical College. Mr. Lucio just arrived. Thank you, sir, for coming in. Let's see, Weslaco ISD, and on to governmental units. Agua Special Utility District, Brownsville Navigation District. We have Mr. Campirano. Thank you, sir. Brownsville PUB, Cameron County Drainage District 1. Did I miss somebody? I thought I heard
Yes, this
somebody.
is Brownsville PUB, Marilyn Gilbert.
Thank you. Cameron County Drainage District 1, Cameron County Drainage District 5, Delta Lake. Mr. Allen, thank you, sir. East Rio Hondo Water Supply Corporation, Economic Development Corporation of Weslaco, Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation, Harlingen Waterworks System, Hidalgo County Water Control and Improvement District number 18, Hidalgo County Irrigation District number 6, Hidalgo County Mud number 1, Hidalgo County, Cameron County Irrigation District number 9, Laguna Madre Water District, McAllen Economic Development Corporation, McAllen PU Public Utilities, Military Highway Supply Water Supply Corporation, North Alamo Water Supply Corporation, Olmito Water Supply Corporation, Port Isabel San Benito Navigation District, Port Mansfield PUB.
Here.
Thank you, sir. Port of Harlingen Authority, United Irrigation District, Valley Mud number 2, Willacy County Navigation District.
Here.
We can only count you once, sir.
Yes,
Okay. Appreciate it, though. And Workforce Solutions, Cameron. And then Grassroots, Ms. Lupita Sanchez Martinez, I see you online. Yes?
Here, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Veronica Gonzalez for UTRGV.
Present.
Thank you. And on to members at large. We have Miss Ann Cass, who notified me she'd be a little bit late. Mr. David Pinoli. Mr. Rene Estrada. Mr. Jim Darling. Sergio Contreras.
Here.
Let's see.
Here.
Yes, sir. George Rivera. Noel Bernal. Oh, no, he's not with us anymore. Chris Gonzalez. And Mr. Eleazar Yogi Garcia. Okay.
Debbie, I need to interrupt if you let me for a second. Yogi retired, so
Yes,
we'll need to get
I have not updated my list. I apologize for that.
I want to
Thank
see if we can get our new city manager on board.
Okay. And Hidalgo County just arrived. And with that, Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum of both the general membership and the board of directors.
Okay, well, welcome everybody and thank you for your attendance. The first item is invocation and pledge of allegiance. Would you please stand? Dear Lord, bless us as we gather here today to conduct business that will affect the citizens of the Rio Grande Valley. Give us the clarity of mind to act in their best interest, not ours. We ask that you bless our speakers and that you bless our time together today. May we grasp those things you want us to understand, and may our actions and our attitudes please you this day. We pray these things in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Now the pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And since this is also a general membership, we have a couple items. We'll have votes from both the general membership and then some from the board of directors. So the first item is action and consideration and action to approve the meeting minutes. And the first one is the annual elections meeting of May 25th, 2022. So if there's anybody who can remember what you did in May of 2022, you want to second that, make that motion, we'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented in your packet. We have a motion and second? Okay. Any deletions or additions? Any deletions or additions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion carried. The next item is the Board of Directors meeting of December 14th, 2022. Okay, I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second? Second. Any deletions or additions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next is public comment. Do we have anybody signed up for public comment? Okay, well, the public is happy. That's good. Next is administration. Mr. Cruz, consideration and action on the general membership action on the 2023 annual report and budget.
Yes, Mayor. On this item, the entire committee Board of Directors was invited on January 12th. Just want to do a mic check. Can everybody online hear me? Just want to make sure. Thumbs up? Yes? Okay, good. So January 12th, the entire membership met or were invited. We did have some participation. And so I'll just give you the summarized version of what they are recommending to the Board of Directors here today. And so first and foremost, the annual report offered the general membership, Board of Directors, and members of the public a detailed outline of the LRGVDC composition, organizational structure, and programmatic responsibilities. The annual report outlines LRGVDC's 2023 performance goals and 2023 budget for the current year, as well as the productivity outcomes for FY 2022. In summary, the budget for 2023 annual budget is $39,766,329. That's reflecting an increase of a little bit over $4 million from the FY 2022 budget due to additional funding that was received under the RGV 911 district, FTA, TXDOT, and HHS. The 2023 annual budget does not reflect an increase in membership dues. The 2023 fringe benefit rate is 50.88 and reflects an increase of 1.91% over the 22 fringe benefit rate of 48.97%. 2023 total budget expenditures indirect is 12.02. That is a decrease of 2.29%. And by statute, the Texas Local Government Code and RPC may not spend an amount more than 15% of the commission's total expenditures, less capital expenditures, and any subcontracts passed through or sub-grants. 2023 salary recommendation for staff includes a 3% performance-based salary increase for those employees who have successfully achieved all standards per the annual evaluation review process. In addition, a 2% labor market adjustment. And the committee met on January the 12th and is recommending approval, unanimously recommending approval on this item.
Okay. Any questions, comments? I have one comment. I mean, the budget is really growing. If you look at the scope of work that the Council of Governments does, a lot of it's regional. And, that's one of our biggest obstacles is regional projects because we're a region of a lot of great cities and et cetera. And so I think the Council of Governments has done a fantastic job with leadership in doing that. We're not only the regional representative or do the actual regional work in a lot of areas, we're also the administrative entity for a lot of regional projects. So both providing that kind of service, but also actively doing things such as the bus service, 911, where we are the regional entity itself, I think is very commendable of all the participants in the Council of Governments. And I look around at other Council of Governments, I think we have a very successful one compared to some others in the state. And I think it shows because of all the membership participation. Anybody else, any comments?
I will add, Mayor, if you don't mind, just elaborate more on the budget. As most of you know, the Council of Governments is fully funded for the most part with state and federal funds. For the large part of the funding, which is almost the entire budget of 99% or 99.5%, is funding that we receive through state and federal grants, and it's passed through grants and services to the region within the 3-county area. So that says a lot in our impact. And so at least 99.5% is passed through and services to the community and programs. So we're trying to get up a slide up. I don't think we're going to be able to, but just to show you a bird's eye view on the situation, how it stands as far as funding is concerned. But I believe less than 1% is local funds, and those funds are the dues that we collect from the membership. And so those dues in turn are used to part of the match that some of these grants require. And so pretty much, all the grant funds that we receive trickle to your cities and counties within the 3-county area. Do you have it, Philip? No? Okay, that's fine. And so just wanted to let you all advise you of that information. Wish we could put up the slide, but unfortunately we're keep going to 11. So that right there, if you see, for those of you that are online, hopefully you can see that. This is a history since 1967 of the LRGVDC's budget. As you can see, we've grown pretty fast and pretty substantially. And so, that really pretty much paints a picture. And as long as that line continues to upwards, I think we're good. And with other funding opportunities coming down, next slide. We'll be targeting to make sure that we get our fair share of the funding. And then the pie chart there just shows you pretty much a bird's eye view on the funding, federal, state, RGV 911 district, the dues, and the match that we receive. And again, pretty much 100% to include staff, time, work that they do is for the community, the 3-county area.
Right. And can't do it without great staff. We do everything from senior citizens to 911 to tires, you name it, and council of governments is involved in it. Anybody have any comments or questions? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve the annual report and budget. Motion is second. I guess no, we don't have room for addition or deletion. So all those in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Next item is action to accept the quarterly and annual investment reports. Crystal?
Good afternoon. Thank you for approving my budget. The quarterly and annual reports were provided for your review if you have any questions. If not, it requires board action.
A motion to approve and second to accept the quarterly and annual investment reports. Any comments or questions?
Yes.
Have we seen any?
Motion.
Excuse me?
So moved.
Okay. All right. Yes, we have a motion second. Sometimes we have several. That's okay. It's difficult that. I had a question. Any upticks in the investment because of the general investment, or we're still in text pool?
We're still in text.
Yeah.
And
That's
fiscal prime.
That's the safest one. Okay. So we have a motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Next item is presentation in the Port of Brownsville. I noticed Edward was here. Nice to see you again.
It's been a long time since I've been before the Lower Rio Grande Development Council. So thank you for the opportunity. I know this is going to be brief, so we'll start with a short video, and probably the video will give you a good idea of what we do. I will qualify. The video was done in partnership for an event for the city of Brownsville. And even though we tout our home city, we're really a regional entity. So we'll start with that, and I'll do a brief presentation, hopefully with enough time. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to address them. So if you will, please.
Welcome to the Port of Brownsville, known around the world as the port that works. My name is Eduardo A. Campirano. I'm the port director and CEO, and I am your host for today. The Port of Brownsville opened in May of 1936 and is the largest land-owning public port authority in the United States with approximately 40,000 acres. The port is the only deepwater seaport located directly on the U.S.-Mexico border, offering unrivaled access to markets on both sides of the border. Most importantly, we are the closest deepwater port serving Mexico's industrial centers in Monterrey, a prime manufacturing base for automaking, consumer electronics, and home appliances. The Port of Brownsville is a versatile marine terminal operation supporting businesses dependent upon a wide range of cargoes. Refined petroleum products, bulk steel materials like slab and cold and hot rolled steel coils, ore, scrap steel, sand, sugar, cement, windmill components, and limestone are some of the many commodities handled here. And an emerging container-on-barge service between Brownsville and Tampa, Florida, provides efficient connections with the East and Midwest United States via the I-95 and the I-75 corridors. The port's facilities include 1 million plus square feet of covered storage, 3 million plus square feet of open storage, 6 liquid cargo docks, along with 13 general cargo docks. Providing a safe, secure, and environmentally responsible location for international trade is a top priority. The Port of Brownsville offers and supports multiple modes of transportation, including ocean-going vessels, all major U.S. and Mexican truck lines, rail service throughout all of North America with a focus on Mexico, barge service, and pipeline access to U.S. and Mexican terminals. The Brownsville Ship Channel is being deepened from a depth of 42 feet to 52 feet, which will support a broader range of cargo ships and aligns with the recent expansion of the Panama Canal, allowing bigger ships to call on the port. When complete, the port will become one of the deepest ports on the Gulf of Mexico and will be able to accommodate deeper draft cargo vessels carrying heavier loads. Another example of our commitment to shippers is a process pioneered at the Port of Brownsville that allows trucks to load to the legal weight limits of Mexico while entering or leaving the port along an overweight corridor. Trucks may utilize the corridor weighing up to 125,000 pounds, 45,000 pounds heavier than domestic loads, while saving time and money by eliminating costly double handling. The Port of Brownsville is committed to working with the regional community to drive growth and economic prosperity. A 2019 economic impact study found that activity generated by the Port of Brownsville results in $3 billion in annual economic impact and produces $201 million in yearly tax revenues, supporting more than 51,000 jobs across the state, including 8,500 in the Rio Grande Valley. Many of those jobs are found at Keppel AmFels, the port's leading employer. Keppel has recently reintroduced shipbuilding to the state of Texas and is currently building 2 774-foot-long U.S. flag container ships expected to be delivered by mid-2021. The Port of Brownsville, we are grateful for the progress we've made and the economic leadership we've achieved for the Rio Grande Valley and the state of Texas. We are proud of the reputation we have built as the port that works with businesses, shippers, in our hometown, Brownsville, Texas. We are proud to be the port that works for everyone.
of phase two, hopefully on Thursday, which is going to be approximately $15 million to begin the raising of the levees where the spoil material from the deepening will have to be placed. Phase two is being done in partnership with our private sector partner, and in this particular case, this next decade, they are committed to about 60% of the entire cost, and that's what made this project possible. This is the first project in the country that will be funded in a non-traditional way under a P3 initiative, where we've taken how do we leverage that private sector investment to make a public project happen. Ron is here. You know, what people don't know, but we have 4 ports in the valley, and he can tell you how easy it is to get money from the federal government for your channel. So this opportunity really represents what could be the new dynamic on how ports will go forward in the future to do projects like this. Project anticipated for our phase of the project right now is about 108 million, of which we are committed to 43 million of that. The balance will be from the federal government, 75 million, of which 68 million came from an allocation under the IIJA Act in March of last year, one direct allocation of 68 million. So that takes care of the federal share. And again, on phase one, that is being done completely by our federal partner. When you look at the scope of the project, this could be a $450 million project. Being able to have a federal partner that leverages that investment to do this is really a once in a lifetime opportunity. And this project may be generational in nature. This may be the last incremental increase of the channel that we'll see in its current state. I'll move on to the next slide, please. This is our big project, and you know, I know I get asked every day, well, where are we? Where are we? You know, we're so close that I can taste it, to be honest with you. This is the Rio Grande LNG project. This is next decade's project to develop a liquid natural gas export, liquefaction export terminal at the Port of Brownsville. You get there on a 1,000-acre parcel of land. You can see that marked there. The Brownsville Ship Channel is a 17-mile-long man-made channel, and it connects directly through the jetties to offshore. So their development project is, we're expecting to hear final investment decision. Now they're saying first quarter of 2023. I'm anticipating that will be towards the first half of that quarter. So I'll go out on the limb and say that. This is a significant project, not only for us. I mean, if you think about it, this is going to be the most significant project for the entire valley. The valley has never been in a discussion where you're talking about private sector investment in the billions of dollars and how do we leverage that. So this is significant. Phase one of their improvements will probably run about 10 to 12 billion dollars. All told, if they do everything they say they're going to do, it's about a $40 billion investment. Again, it has a significant impact economically to the region. We can go to the next slide, please. This is derived directly from Next Decade. You can see this project will have about a $23 billion impact on the state's gross domestic product, impacting about $6 billion locally. Employment, when you look at that is really calculated in terms of person years. So if you really look at on the bottom where it says employment, the impact on the region, about 3,256. That top number is measured on those jobs that would be for 20 years and greater. So you can see how significant that is in terms of income and impact in the region. This project will generate a great deal of income, not only at the port, but really throughout the whole region. This project will add substantially just to the tax base of Cameron County. The advantage to everyone there is that you'll see the tax rate for everyone go down over time. So this is a big, big plus. At peak, Bechtel is the contractor on this project. At peak, they will have 6,000 employees on site. And that's just during the construction. Now, keep in mind, this construction is not a 2 or 3 year and done. This has a 5 to 7, possibly 8 year build out. And again, the first part of the project is about 50% of the production capability. The balance will come. So this could actually go out 10 or 12 years over time. So we're excited about that. Go to the next slide, please. Some other things that we're doing at the port, West Plains, we have a grain elevator at the port. We received the grant from the federal government in November, award actually in May of last year. And it is to make improvements to the grain elevator, focusing primarily on the ability to improve the loading of ships at the Port of Brownsville. You know, the port used to be a big, big player in international grain shipments, and, you know, that business died over time. We hope to see that come back, and we've seen it come back. More importantly, this is an independent grain elevator project. Our goal when we got that grain elevator back was that we would open up the market to our area growers, to our local farmers. Many of the grain elevators are corporate, so it's their commodity. You wait in line and you get what they can give you. We did a test market run in 2021, early 2021, where we loaded out 4 ships with sorghum destined for China to kind of prove the theory that it works. We source every bit of grain available from here to Corpus Christi and beyond. So we know that we can open up the market for our local farmers. So we're excited about that. We have a company coming in, Forza Steel. They're essentially going to be supporting the energy and construction business by being able to fabricate piping, square tubing necessary for construction. $32 million investment, again, about 40 plus employees. Sunoco has been the latest entry to the port on the liquid terminal side. You see them come back to the region. You see their name going up at the stripes. You see them going up at the Circle Ks. Well, they're back, and they have invested about $55 million into a liquid terminal that will be used to supply not only their outlets, but they're looking into expansion into Mexico. So they've added about 560,000 barrels of capacity, which puts us at about 8 million barrels of total capacity. Our largest waterborne commerce many times is the liquid trades, both by deep draft vessel. We import from Europe and all around the world to domestic importation as well. And then lastly, our biggest project that affects our biggest customer, and that is our slab customer. It's a project called Pesqueria. Pesqueria is a state-of-the-art mill that was built in Monterrey, a multi-billion-dollar project, and it's located in the area they call Pesqueria around Monterrey. This is our major steel manufacturer in Mexico, primary servicing the automobile industry, the white appliance industry, construction industry. Their major throughput through the Port of Brownsville supports that industry. And primarily, we provide the feedstock that goes to the mill in Pesqueria that then turns it around and does the finished product. And many times that's the finished product we see coming back across the border as a white appliance, an automobile, construction equipment, or what have you. So really, when you look at the port, we are in cross-border business. That's what we do. 85% of our business is focused on Mexico. We moved last year about 72,000 loaded rail cars. About 85% of those are going south. So it is a significant project for us. It's a collaboration of not only our customer Ternium, the Mexico, but also the stevedore, the railroad, and ourselves. That's probably about a $15 million investment. And what it will do is will allow us to ship 3 90-unit rail cars loaded with steel stuff to Mexico on a daily basis. So it is very, very significant. So I think that really concludes what we've got as far as the things that are going on in the port. It's hard to do it in 15 minutes, but I wanted to leave enough time in case anybody has any questions.
All right, anyone have any questions? You know, it seems the only publicity we see is when they bring in an old aircraft carrier to make scrap metal. But
there's one coming this quarter. And I will mention that will be the last of the conventional carriers. There were 7 of them. The Kitty Hawk is currently in port. It arrived in end of May. The next one that's coming, which will be the last, will be arriving this quarter, and it's actually the John F. Kennedy. That one will come with a lot of notoriety and a lot of fanfare. The next round for us is possibly looking at the next round of the Navy's projects, which will really begin to address the nuclear aircraft carriers. Now, when I say nuclear, it doesn't mean they show up all full of nuclear fuels. That means they've been defueled and ready to put out for commercial development. The next one, the first one is the Enterprise. And if that does come, that will be quite a sight. But that's 23, 24, 25. And that is huge because that has a 50-year window, because the next class would be the Nimitz class, and there's 10 of those. And the Navy normally retires like every 5 years once. So we're excited about that opportunity. It means a lot of jobs for the region. And one of the things many of you have heard me say, the maritime industry is not a minimum wage employer.
Well, that's an exciting report. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Well, the immediate opportunity is our current customers want to grow. I'll give you an example. This month alone, we'll have 8 slab vessels in our port, anywhere between about 55,000 tons of steel slab. So we'll have 450,000 tons of steel slab in our port this month. Well, that customer wants to go to 80,000. Which means is you're going to need the incremental draft to be able to do that. Because for them, it's all about cost. And if you can increase the efficiency of the volume, it reduces the per unit cost. So them being able to come in with 80,000 metric tons, it's a substantial savings for the cost of the vessel, for the cost of the transit, that whole deal. But that's huge for us. We're the number one port in the nation in terms of a supplier to Mexico for steel. And I'm not talking about finished product pipeline or stuff. I'm talking about the raw material that goes, what they need to fuel their industry, which really impacts us. So that's what it means. Same thing goes for our liquid carriers. We have one that wants to go to 400,000 barrels as opposed to 250,000. They need that incremental draft. The LNGs will need incremental draft. They're not going to need 52 feet. That was really designed to support the nation's interest in offshore oil. It's starting to come back, and that's really kept landfills at the end of the day.
I heard that some of the sand, or when you're dredging, it'll go on the beach for beach erosion. Is that right?
Beach renourishment is a project that really got pioneered at South Padre Island, and the first project the Corps ever did. And so there are opportunities for beach quality sand. There are elements of that project that will be, and I know there's discussion. Certainly, I know the county's interest in supporting its beach renourishment efforts on Isla Blanca and the north side, and so is the town. The only comment I'll make is that's out of the scope of our project, so that's kind of somebody else's baby. But yes, that is certainly a viable option in many respects, and it's been done numerous times.
Okay, anybody have any other comments or questions? Thank you. That's a great report. Really appreciate
I'll
it.
leave y'all. We left some directories out front. There's information about the port here and a lot of good stuff, actually. So please help yourself on the way out. So thank you.
Thank you. The next item is presentation on Unidos contra la Diabetes. Moises? Oh, he's on. Okay.
Yes, Moises Arjona is online. He'll be doing a presentation. We can't hear you yet. Moises, are you muted at your end?
I think he's working on it. I think he's working on his. Well, what we'll do is give him a chance to work on it. Oh, there? Okay, go ahead.
Sorry about that. Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for having us to come in and do our annual update. We really do appreciate it, and thank you for taking the time to be with us, allowing us to come in. Next slide, please. Again, UCD started in 2014. Our whole goal is to improve the lives of the residents of the Rio Grande Valley. We want to do that by reducing type 2 diabetes, and we want to reduce that by 10% by 2030. I want to say that is our goal, and we can do it together, but we need everybody's help to do that. So Next slide. From this slide, we're actually gathering the current data from the 3 FQHCs in the Rio Grande Valley, which is Nuestra Clínica del Valle, Su Clínica, and Brownsville Community Health Center. Our rates compared to the state and the US are not good. And this is where I come and ask for help from everyone. We really need help to go ahead and reduce that rate. We are doing some things at UCD to go ahead and improve that and make sure that we're taking better steps to improve the life of those in the Rio Grande Valley. But we need help. So I just put in some links in the chat. Hopefully they work. If not, please reach out to me and I'll make sure that we get those out to you all. Next slide. So we love for everyone to go ahead at their organization and put these posters up for Take the Steps for a Healthier Lifestyle. They're English and Spanish. They're at no cost to each of you. All you have to do is order them from our website. We will deliver them. And if you all would like to scan the QR codes and take the assessment, that's great. What we really want to know is what are the actual rates of diabetes in the Rio Grande Valley from our residents. That way we can go ahead and create resources and materials that will better ourselves and change the lives of those that we serve. Next slide. We do have a traveling exhibit. It's 7 panels. It's free for use at no cost again to anyone. If you're having an event, if you want to put it up at one of your organizations, a city hall or a university or a school, all you have to do is just request it. We will deliver them. We do have them in English and Spanish, and they provide information about diabetes and where we're at, where our children are at in schools as well. And again, it's just informational, bringing awareness and trying to prevent that type 2 diabetes. Next slide, please. We also created some wellness posters. These posters are also at no cost. We would love to see them all over your organizations, in your break rooms. We want to see them in gyms. We want to see them everywhere. We try really hard to make them relatable to our community and our population that we serve. They have some facts in there along with what we're doing, and really grab the interest of everyone to go ahead and work on preventing type 2 diabetes. Next slide. Again, these are all at no cost. They come to us. You can order them from us at no cost. We'll deliver them. We're here to serve the Rio Grande Valley. Next slide. See, these are some of our partners. We'd love to see you all's logos on here as well, that we can go ahead and promote that you all support all that we're doing to reduce type 2 diabetes in the Rio Grande Valley. Next slide. We have our social media, we have our newsletter, important information that comes out every month on what we're doing as a collaborative throughout the Rio Grande Valley. And we'd love to see our subscription go up. Next slide. And here's our contact information if you need to reach out to us. Any questions about what we're doing in the Rio Grande Valley for diabetes?
Any questions?
I have a comment, Jim. This is Veronica. So thank you for that presentation, but I wanted to also point out, Moises, that the university has a border health office. I don't know if you know Doreen Garza, but she runs that office. She's got a good report that she submits to the legislature yearly, and it's on the Texas risk assessment for type 2 diabetes in children. I'm happy to send that to you, and I'll also make it available to to everybody at LRGVDC in case anyone wants to look at the report and see what the current status is.
Yes, thank you. Thanks so much. We do work with her closely. Well, some of the reports that we do are actually grabbing us for the AN markings, acanthosis nicarin markings, that she reports to the state. And that is actually helping us create some curriculums to work with the school districts to reduce type 2 diabetes, because bringing that awareness to the parents is really important right now. So thank you.
Thank you, Moises.
Yeah, it's a lot of temptation out there with great food and candy. One of the big stores I know, almost about 2/3 of it's snacks and candy, and my wife won't let me go in it anymore. But at any rate, I won't say the name, I won't get in trouble. But anyways, yeah, we all should do a better job and provide leadership in this area. Any other questions or comments? Okay, well, thank you very much for the presentation, Moses.
Thank you.
Next one is presentation on U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS. Norma's here.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak with you today. A special thanks to Mayor Sepulveda for inviting me to this meeting. My name is Norma Limon, and I am the Director of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Field Office in Harlingen. I am here to ask for your help in raising awareness of the importance of citizenship in the naturalization process. But first, let me tell you a little bit of story about myself. I was born and raised in Matamoros, Tamaulipas, Mexico. My parents, el señor Jorge, la señora Blanca Gloria Rincones, wanted a better education for myself and my 12 other siblings. So they moved to the U.S. in the early 80s to Brownsville, Texas, where they continue to reside. I was going into the 8th grade in Mexico, but not knowing how to speak, write, or read English was very challenging. And so I had to repeat 7th grade. I was going into the 8th grade, but now I was moved back to 7th grade. I went on to attend high school and college in Brownsville. I was awarded a volleyball scholarship from Texas Samos College and graduated with a business administration degree from UT Brownsville. Many years later, when I was on my 40s and with 5 children, I decided to go back to school and get a master's degree in project management. But after graduating college at UTB, I moved to Michigan, where I resided for 4 years. Then moved to Missouri, where I lived for 18 years. It was then in Missouri where I decided to work for CIS. Back then it was INS. But I was disqualified because I was not a US citizen. And that was my motivation to become a US citizen. And in the summer of 1999, I swore my allegiance to the United States of America and I became a US citizen. But that was 25 years after holding a green card as a permanent resident without the right to vote, the right to work for the government, or the right to run for political office. Just to mention a few disadvantages. When I became a US citizen, it was the beginning of my American dream to work with the government. And from the start, I worked really hard to be the best version of myself. I was promoted to different positions within the agency and my organization. And 8 years ago, I was selected as a director of the Harlingen Field Office. And since then, I have used this platform to partner with several consulates, government agencies, and community organizations to increase awareness of the citizenship process and give others the same opportunities that I have been blessed with. I am proud to announce that our agency naturalized almost 1 million people last year, and we want to continue this momentum and receive more petitions to make more citizens. We have a heat map that shows that we have over 150,000 permanent residents residing in the RGV, and it shows that the average permanent resident has been holding the green card for an average of 20 years. Why? For me, I can tell you sincerely that it was ignorance, the complete ignorance in the process, not knowing where to go, what to do. I was a child when I came to the United States, so I have no other way of knowing that. But last year, President Biden signed into law the Executive Order 14012, which is, could you go back one slide, please? He signed into law Executive Order 14012, which is titled Restoring Faith in Our Legal Immigration Systems and Strengthening Integration and Inclusion Efforts to New Americans. This executive order recognizes that granting citizenship is vital to our nation's security, economic prosperity, and a future built on the principles of the U.S. Constitution. Among other things, this executive order coordinated a whole of government approach to breaking down barriers to U.S. citizenship and promoting naturalization to all who are eligible. Next slide, please. The executive order directs the federal government to develop welcoming strategies for new Americans. Some of these strategies include strengthening our integration and inclusion efforts of new citizens and the promotion of naturalization. Next slide, please. Section 5 of the executive order calls upon the federal government to promote naturalization through citizenship and educational awareness and by building capacity and expanding partnerships. To support these specific efforts, an interagency naturalization working group was created. Next slide, please. The Interagency Naturalization Working Group include all these government agencies that you see on the board. Next slide, please. The working group goals, one of our primary interests, or the reason I'm here today, is to raise awareness of the importance of citizenship, promote civic integration and inclusion, provide immigrants with opportunities and tools to become fully engaged, build community capacity to prepare immigrants to citizenship, and eliminate all the sources of fear and other barriers to naturalization services, and advance and ensure equity throughout the citizenship process. Next slide, please. The working group created 3 pillars for promoting naturalization. The first initiative is your immigration community and education outreach initiatives. And the goal here is to reach out to all legal permanent residents and those on the path to acquiring legal permanent resident status and engage them on the citizenship process, as well as engaging the community-based organizations or national citizenship networks, embassies, consulates, businesses, and the media to amplify the citizenship campaign. The second initiative is promoting citizenship through capacity building and partnerships. And one of the tasks includes supporting partner capacity by offering joint webinars, educational and cultural events in order to promote citizenship. The third pillar includes citizenship education, and some of the ideas is to expand adult citizenship training seminars and outreach to any military service members. Also expanding the language translations. A lot of our forms now have multiple language translation. So I need your help. I would like to build partnerships with all of you, with your respective offices, to promote the importance of citizenship and their way help our community become citizens and give them all opportunities and benefits of being a U.S. citizen. And dream big. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you today. I do have some pamphlets that I have passed around as well. I left one of them on your table, and also my card. So you want to give me a call, email me, call me, and let me know if you'd like to set up a presentation. We can come in, give a presentation similar to this, but also in the naturalization process. So this pamphlet that I passed out, it actually has the entire N400 process as well as resources for anyone to follow. So this is very new, fresh out of the, what is it? Out of the stove, out of the oven.
Off the press.
Sorry. But anyways, it has the entire process of becoming a citizen. Maybe you are a citizen, but maybe you know someone that would like to become a citizen. Maybe your kids' friends, your relatives. Not only becoming a citizen allows you to the opportunity to vote, the opportunity to run for office, but you can also petition for your spouse, your children, your brother, your sister, for them to become permanent residents and receive legal status in the United States. Any questions?
Any questions?
Hi, this is Lupita Sanchez, and it's more a comment than a question. question. I just want to say thanks to Miss Limon for the hard work that she has been doing. I know Miss Limon for at least 7 of those 8 years that she has been working as the director in the Harlingen station. It's been very rewarding that not only due to the political request from Biden, she had already had that initiative of coming to the communities and talk to the potential new citizens. And it's a person that it's really focusing on helping the community and bringing workshops to the community and breaking that in a way atmosphere of respect and sometimes even fearness to apply for something that could allow you to bring new family members to the American dream. I think it's something very good that her office is doing. And Ms. Limon, thank you very much for keep moving forward to your goal on helping the community
Thank you for your
reach
kind words.
their dream.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. To come out and learn about your program and have actually gone through their citizenship process and now are U.S. citizens. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had another. There was a question on this.
I was just going to add, I get asked a lot because I'm a retired military guy. I talk to a lot of recruit people who are interested in service, and a lot of them are foreign nationals. And there used to be, and I want to find out if it's still true because I tell them it is. I hope I'm not lying. There's an expedited path to citizenship for people who serve in the military. Is that correct?
For current members of the military, yes.
People who are active duty.
Active duty military, yes. They don't have to pay a fee,
No.
and
And it takes less time.
the process of the application is expedited.
I have a question. I know you mentioned that you had helped about 1 million people get their citizenship. Is that a period over years, or is that a count for a year or two? Because they didn't appear in our census.
So that's last year. That was last year nationwide.
Nationwide, okay.
So 1 year.
Now,
thank you for your question.
Everybody got one of these brochures and it has a test that you have to take. And so I looked at it and I just hope I don't get deported because I didn't do very well. But I think you ought to take it home and you got kids, go over this test and see how, what good Americans we are or not. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'll get.
Mayor, I do have a comment. Thank you, Ms. Limon, for coming out. And I just want to encourage everyone, especially all of us that are elected officials. I think it is incumbent upon us to educate our community that it is a relatively easy path. And if you study, Mayor, it'll be just fine. But I do think that there is that fear in our community that they don't want to come out to apply. And if we want to increase our census numbers, the only way to do that is to ensure that they know that they're going to be supported throughout the process. And I will say that USCIS has had some significant changes, I think, over the last few years. And I feel that once people see that the process is possible and they share that with their family members and their friends, people are more inclined to go through the process because they know someone has already done it. But for so many people, their whole families, our lawful permanent residents, been here in our communities for years, and don't go through that process out of fear, and then they don't know anyone in their network or in their in their circle, and that's the reason why they don't do that. So if we can collectively educate our communities and provide that support, and there have a lot of resources and educational materials, I think that we will see those numbers increase. And obviously that means more funding for the region if we have those correct numbers. So I just encourage everybody to take advantage of what Ms. Limon is offering, so that way we can improve funding mostly for our region. Thank you.
Okay, I got one comment. Hello, ma'am. My name is Gus Olivares. I'm the mayor for our city of Rio Hondo. Congratulations for your success
Thank you.
and your hard work, because I myself was born in Mexico in Matamoros, Tamaulipas, and my parents at one point or another chose to come to the United States, and it took me some time to become an American citizen. And one of the best things that ever happened to me was be able to vote and be able to run for office, through the process. But I understand your point.
Mayor, this is Mayor Salinas. I have a comment too.
It's a great thing, and it's admiring to see someone like you and giving this positive thing for our people in our community. And I think they need someone like you or like us that represent well. And congratulations and thank you for it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. And we have somebody else out in there wanting to make a comment?
Mayor Salinas.
No? Going once? All right, well, we'll relay it if we get it. Thank you very much. I appreciate the presentation. Man, you want to do executive director, or we want to go through
The action items.
action items? Okay, we're going to go through the action items only, and so I apologize to all the department heads. I won't give a full report, but in a matter of time, we're already running over time. I don't want to have a revolt on my hand. So the first one is item 5A1. It's consideration and action to approve the 2022 scrap tire management and available alternatives in Texas Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council region.
Yes, good afternoon, members of the board. Thank you for being here. That is the action item. I believe all of y'all received a copy of that, or at least a link to that report, which is rather informative. It's about 80 pages plus, if I'm not mistaken, but it was put together by our partners in Texas State University. They're on hand if anybody has any questions, but I'll just go ahead and put that up for approval in case anybody has any questions.
Okay, no questions. I have a motion. A motion is second to approve. All those in favor, say aye, raise your hand.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried.
Just food for thought, that will be presented on a TCEQ webinar. The findings from that study, it will be a statewide webinar that a lot of the COGs are promoting through communities throughout the state. So we can provide the link to that webinar to everybody else. So if you'd like to join in on that, because they will be referencing the Rio Grande Valley tire study in that webinar.
Okay.
And that's what I have for you today.
I might, if I could use a presiding chair, I'm going to do a little Rio Grande Regional Water Planning Group and Reservoir Levels report.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, reservoir was at 32%, which is not great, but it's better than we were at 20 last summer. The other one is there was an article in the paper, and we've sent it out to all our Region M members about the condition of Amistad Reservoir. And so anybody that going to Austin on your cities or replanning, you need to down and sit and talk to them about that, so that state of Texas pushes IBWC, the federal government, and the Mexican government to fix the reservoir.
Right.
Both of them had sinkholes years. It's cost us water, but it's never been a dangerous situation. And because we haven't done the repairs, now it's a dangerous situation. So please do that.
Right.
Sorry, Rick.
No worries. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? I'm available after the meeting. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we go to public safety, which always has items. Mr. Pettis, item C1, Criminal Justice Advisory Committee recommendations for new committee members.
Good afternoon, everyone. Trust everyone had an awesome new year. So the first action item that I have is consideration and action to approve the Criminal Justice Advisory Committee members, the CJAC recommendation on appointments on new committee members. We met earlier this month and they did do nominations and voting. And the two individuals that they nominated were Ms. Marian Denner for the Juvenile Justice Discipline. And the second one was Mr. Toribio Terry Palacios for the Prosecutor Courts Discipline. Now this requires board action for approval on their sitting on the committee.
Okay. A motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item C2.
The second item is on consideration and action to approve purchase of regional project equipment for the interoperable communications infrastructure. Now, the radio equipment that we plan to purchase from this grant is an awarded by board vendor. We did go through the process of trying to acquire 3 quotes. The vendor that we're using, you'll see on the attached information, is from Tri-County. And we're going to be utilizing grant number 4527601. We were awarded about $100,000. You'll notice that the quote is a little bit under that. We'll probably have about $580 left over.
Okay, it's recommendation?
It's yes to purchase. So we would need action approval from the board.
A motion in the second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Raise your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. C3.
And the last one is consideration and action to approve resolutions for fiscal year 2023, 2024 for the Homeland Security Grant funding. As part of the Homeland Security Grant Division grant guidelines, the applications that we submit to the governor's office require and must include a resolution such as an authorization by its governing body. In this case, we need approval from you all to be able to apply for these 2 grants, which are going to be the Homeland Security Regional Planning and the Coordinator for Regional Fire Academy.
Okay, it's a recommendation. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Raise your hand.
Thank you,
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you, everyone. No further questions. The other one is just status updates.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. And then, Mr. Luna, we have one item under 4, which is approval of the resolution for the Regional Law Enforcement Academy project.
I'll take that, Mayor. Mr. Luna is not with us. He's at training, our Assistant Director for the Police Academy. And so item number 4 is consideration and action to approve resolution for FY 2023-25 Regional Law Enforcement Academy project. Again, this is a biennium basis, so we're getting ready to apply for the next 2 years of the Regional Police Academy grant. So we need approval on the resolution.
A motion is second to approve the resolution for 2023-25 Law Enforcement Academy project. Any comments or questions? We had a motion and second. Yes, sir.
So obviously earlier in the year, late last year, on the regional academy. So I was all for the regional academy moving forward. There was some question as to the board, and whether it was too much because if you're going to do a reorganization of the leadership of the board, or the 2 that were added, the reorganization.
Are you referring to the Regional Police Academy Board?
Yeah.
That is, yes. Yes, it's a requirement by TICO. Specifically, there are certain disciplines that must be on that board to include citizens and law enforcement personnel. So some of the members have retired since then. And so we meet once a year, and we should be scheduling a meeting this year pretty soon to go over those. Yes.
Would they be law enforcement people going on or citizens that we need?
Both.
Okay, so law enforcement, get out there if you want to be on the board. Make sure you contact the Council of Governments. We have a motion. We have a motion and a second, I think. Okay, all in favor of item 4, raise your hand. Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We have one more item under D, consideration action approved procurement of fare box collection system for the buses.
Good afternoon, board members. Yes, this action item is to purchase 7 fare boxes. This is in addition to the fare boxes that we already have in our fleet. This is just for the new fleet that we've purchased. Thank you.
Okay, a motion and second. Sorry. Motion, Mayor. Second. Any other discussion? Hear none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Before you leave, any other questions on the agenda that we didn't get a chance to cover? We are going to go in executive session, however, as the board members, and we'll probably go in the other room. Is that right?
Yes, just some instructions on executive session. For those of you that are online, please refer to the email that Debbie sent earlier today. You'll have the link there that will take you to the executive session. And for the folks that are here live in person, we're going to go across the hall to the small boardroom so you can meet under executive session for this item.
Okay, so we have a motion to convene into executive session.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We are recessing in executive session. We'll be back as soon as we finish. All the general membership people, you can stay on if you want. Exciting end of our meeting, or we thank you for being here today.
This conference will now be recorded.
Have your attention, please. Can I have your attention, please? Because the MPO people are going to get nasty if we don't have a room. So anyway, we're reconvening out of executive session, back in open session again. And the purpose of our executive session was the evaluation of our executive director, Mr. Cruz. And so I think it was a consensus of all there. I think you're doing a great job. You have a great staff that makes you successful. You can't be successful at your staff. And hopefully that will continue growing under your guidance. And so without any, unless anybody wants to make a comment, I'd entertain a motion that we approve the salary increase as proposed in executive session. Okay. Third. Okay. We have motion. Anybody for it? Okay. Any other comments or question? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you very much. Be safe. Meeting's over.
Thank you.